So, did anyone watch Skeleton Crew? Yeah, me neither. Bet you thought I did since this is a review of the show, but I mean look, what do you want from me? Do you think I have the time to actually watch these shows? All I really do is go to Rotten Tomatoes and just read the consensus of what the critics thought of the show and then just summarize it in a video. I've never actually watched a minute of anything I've reviewed so far. Alright, just kidding. I just have one question though. Did anyone ask for this show? I have a feeling not a lot of people did, and I wouldn't blame you. I mean, Disney has had so many garbage shows lately that no wonder the viewership for their first 2 episodes were pretty low compared to the rest of the Star Wars shows, especially straight after this horrible garbage. This was basically just Disney saying, you'll watch this show and you're gonna like it, so shut up! And we're just gonna take everything they shove in our throats, and if we complain, we get slapped in the face. Of course, initially, I didn't care for this show much at all. I lost interest in this at around the 4th episode, but then I rewatched the whole thing after all the episodes were released, and I actually really enjoyed this. But by no means is this at all perfect. It's just enjoyable to watch, and it's just fun to be excited about watching Star Wars again. The cast in this is really good. I didn't mind anyone in their roles. The kids were playing their characters surprisingly well. None of the characters in the show were particularly annoying, and that's saying a lot about a show with 4 main characters played by kids whose first day of primary school was in 2023. These actors made it feel like they were real kids being lost in the Star Wars galaxy. Although initially I thought that Wim seemed like he's kinda obnoxious. But he ended up being one of my favorites because he's got that proper kid attitude, just wanting to have an adventure, playing lightsabers everywhere he goes. There was only one moment in the first episode where I went, oh, please don't let this be the standard of acting in the show. And it was this small moment where Wim told in class he wanted to help people when they're in danger, and his classmate laughed at him, which was just the worst fake laughter I've seen in a while.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
But luckily that was only a one-off moment and the line deliveries were mostly on point, so good job young actors. We will watch your careers with great interest. Jude Law's character was such a nice addition too. I especially love it in the 7th episode when he finally loses his temper completely with the kids. If I had to criticize one thing about the character, it would be his annoying smirks and weird smiles. They were just a bit cringy and it hurt my eyes. Like in this scene where they see it's SM-33 coming towards them and he's just like, heh. That stupid face just makes me want to hit him with a shovel. In my opinion, the mystery of AT-ATN was well written. Every episode we got a small hint of what they're trying to hide and what the great work at AT-ATN is. AT-ATN. Too many ats. Imagine if the Empire sent AT-ATs there. Sir, there were multiple AT-ATN. We're in the middle of a full-scale evacuation. There's no time for your stupid tongue twisters. I also liked how they handled Silvo/George's character too. Can you imagine if the kids thought he was a jolly good Jedi guy until the last episode? That would have been awful, and it would have made the kids look so dumb at the end. Not to mention that's been done so many times, and a twist villain here just wouldn't have worked. The visuals are also pretty great. It looked way more vibrant and well lit compared to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, where you had to adjust your screen settings for maximum brightness in order to make out Ewan McGregor's face.
I will do what I must.
There's not even that much filler in the show, although there's one episode that I disliked because of its pointlessness, and I'll get into that when I'm ranking the episodes. I also noticed there's a bit of a formula in these new Disney Star Wars shows. The Mandalorian had Grogu, Obi-Wan Kenobi had Leia as a kid, and now Skeleton Crew has a bunch of kids, and all these shows have a powerful father-like character taking care of them. It's like the whole team of Lucasfilm saw the movie The Pacifier from 2005, and they were like, listen up guys, how do we make every single Star Wars show exactly like 2005's The Pacifier? I wouldn't be surprised if the next Star Wars movie is going to be called Star Wars Episode X, The Babies Have Awakened. And the synopsis is that Rey is training a new generation of Jedi, but then it's just her changing a bunch of nappies and trying to stop the babies from crying. Shh! Let's all just meditate! Jar Jar Jr., stop cutting your ears with the lightsaber! Alright, let's rank the episodes. Spoilers ahead. Okay, here we go. I can't believe they had a zombie skeleton Jedi who just murdered every single character. Alright, now for the real spoilers. Episode 4 is probably the worst episode, honestly, because it just seems like the one filler episode in the season that we didn't really need. The Civil War, Clan War storyline was pointless, and we never revisited them again by the end. Some might say that if a filler episode has character development, it's not a filler episode. And to that I say, shut up! Yes, Neil had some character explaining in the episode about his fears and how he's not brave, and it was paid off by the end of the episode when he distracted the droid away from the others. But a small conversation scene with character development in an otherwise pointless story does not a good episode make. Therefore, it's filler. Also, what the hell was this floor slide? One of the kids yells, "Whoa!" when she does it, but it's like, why are you doing that? That's lame. She does the floor slide and then just stands up and says, "Follow me quickly." But why did she do the floor slide? She even did a pointless flip at the end of the episode just to show off again. Is that just for street cred or something? Is she floor sliding all over the place all the time? When she needs a drink, she flips over the couch, floor slides to the fridge, and then floor slide back to the couch again? Anyway, as I said, the Clan Wars storyline in episode 4 is as pointless as this girl's flips. Couldn't they have just done something more interesting to find their fallen sanctum? And nothing even came of it. Their clan trained them, they ran into Silvo, who returned the space horses to the clan, and then the clan was like, "Thank you for getting our space horses back. Now we'll tell you how to get to the fallen sanctum." It's just a very side mission like story. Next up is the first episode, which was a bit slow paced. It was a good setup episode, but I think it could have been cut shorter to reduce the runtime. Instead of spending 40 seconds walking towards and staring at an entrance. Next we have episode 2, which was a better paced episode. It has some funny moments when the kids are finally seeing a completely different place compared to home. And next we have episode 6. This is starting to be one of the good ones. We see a little more character development from KB, and we see the kids paired up away from their best friends. It's also got some nice action and a giant crab, so that's fun. Episode 3 is another good one. I like the owl character and the fact that Jod and the owl discover that they're actually from At-Aten and how sheltered they have been from everything. Plus the X-Wing chase was pretty cool. One thing I didn't understand in the beginning of this episode though was when they were escaping the pirate starport together with Silvo, why did the kids only mention they didn't want to leave without the droid only once they reached the inside of their ship? And Silvo doesn't even know what they're talking about, even though he heard everything back in the jail cell when they were coming up with their plan. So why wasn't he aware of any of that? And why would the kids go all the way to the ship and then all of a sudden, "Oh yeah, the droid, we gotta go back for the droid." Oh, come on kids, do we have to? Yeah. And he's like, "Ugh, okay." I guess the writers just forgot about the droid and this was the way to fix it. So top 3 we have episode 8, the finale episode. It started off very tense and everything that was happening was very exciting. And visually, the action and the spaceships looked amazing. Apparently the director John Watts wanted to take a more hybrid approach with the special effects, using the volume and animatronics and other things I know nothing about. But unfortunately, this episode did not stick the landing. It almost seemed as if it was very rushed. We didn't really see any resolutions to the main mysteries of the entire season, so I was a bit disappointed. When the kids managed to get a message through to the Republic, Jod just lets the hostages go. Why wouldn't he just lose it and kill them all or something? Or try running quickly to the mint and get as many credits as he can and then just find a ship and fly off. But all we see is him letting the kids and the parents go, and then he just looks through the window, making his stupid faces again. And another thing they didn't go to was the question about At-Aten. Will the people still keep working at the mint? Or are the kids' parents going to be like, "Well, screw this, I'm also going to become a pirate"? What? Anyway, we don't know because they didn't tell us. Other than that, I like the action and the tension in the episode, but it's going to be top 3 for me. Episode 5. This was one of my favorite episodes because it had adventure, mystery, puzzles, action, betrayal, comedy. I love that when Jod is talking to Wim, he's using Qui-Gon's line, "Your focus determines your reality," which told us that he must have studied or been trained by the Jedi at some stage. And then number 1, episode 7 was the best one in my opinion. I really like the scene where Silvo sneaks on board the kids' ship and threatens them with the lightsaber. I also love the fact that SM-33 followed the Unclaimsies rule, which was a nice callback to the first episode.
I call Unclaimsies!
What?
And this episode just had a lot of tension and Silvo showing his true colors and losing his patience. I don't know, it was just peak Skeleton Crew for me. Plus it didn't have a girl doing pointless floor slides and flips. But anyway, overall this show was a pretty good watch, with one lame episode, and the ending was also pretty disappointing. Maybe if they hadn't left those pretty big plot lines just open-ended, I would have gone out on the streets with a sign saying, "Please watch Skeleton Crew, stop what you're doing everyone, take a break from work, and use your annual leave to watch Skeleton Crew." But like I said, it wasn't that amazing. I give Skeleton Crew a 7.5 out of 10. Like and subscribe for more. Bye bye now.